Better View for Gordon is the third episode of the 5th series of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, and it was one of the many episodes of the 5th series to be based on a real-life railway event. But I'll get to that after I go through the story real quick. One morning, Gordon is feeling grumpy. This ends up making James cross, and he is growing tired of such behaviour. Thus asks why the Blue Express engine complains all the time. Gordon replies that he is a big blue engine that knows everything and should complain whenever he wants, while James is just a small red engine with ideas above his station. Percy is confused about the ideas above the station phrase and says that the sky's empty. James compares it to Percy's smoke bots, much to the little green engine's dismay. Gordon is still grumpy and also states that one day he will show just what a big engine can really do. And when Percy asks what a big engine can really do, Gordon answers by saying not speaking to silly little green engines for a start, and then he chugs away. Later, Gordon is ordered by the Fat Controller to put an empty express train to Kirk Ronan for a dress rehearsal to test the new station building. He is reluctant at first and asks why can't Henry do it instead, since Henry likes idling in stations, but the Fat Controller does not care. He sternly tells Gordon to do as he is told, so Gordon accepts. But while along the way, he begins to feel sick. His driver tells him that he should go to the works as his pipes are clogged. Gordon soon arrives at the new station. He is impressed at first, but is disappointed when in front of him stands a blank wall and a huge set of buffers. Gordon remarks the view to be very boring and says that important engines like him should have a panoramic view so that both he and other people can see each other. He is relieved when it is time for his return journey. On the return journey, Gordon tries to build up speed, but he breaks down and immediately diverts into a siding where he makes a complete stop. His fireman tells him that something inside him is broken and that he is in dire need of repairs at the works. When James arrives to collect his coaches, he remarks to Gordon that he was too puffed up in his smoke box and it serves him right. Later, when Gordon is prepared, he is still boasting and claims he is the finest engine on the island of Sodor and probably the world. He then leaves for the official opening of Kirk Ronan Station with the Fat Controller riding in his cab with his crew. When he approaches the station, however, there is trouble. His crew are unable to apply his brakes due to a jammed mechanism. His driver reduces steam, but Gordon is still going too fast in the nick of time, and as a result charges through the back of the station, completely destroying the wall and suffering damage to his front buffer beam and front undercarriage in the process. His fireman and the Fat Controller are also injured from the impact, receiving a broken arm and a black eye respectively. The Fat Controller reminds Gordon that he knew he wanted a panoramic view, but that breaking through the wall is not an advisable way to achieve it. Gordon understands and apologises for his predicament. Upon his second repair for the works, Gordon returns to the station for its second official opening and this time arrives safely, to the passengers' acclaim. Gordon is delighted to discover that the broken wall has been turned into a panoramic window, affectionately named Gordon's View. The Fat Controller tells Gordon that it is here to stay, and he trusts that he will always see through it from the safety of his own rails. Gordon heartily agrees. The TV series always excelled with the Gordon-centered episodes, and A Better View for Gordon is no exception. It's got Gordon being his pompous old self, and has one of the most amazing crashes I've ever seen in the TV series. And speaking of which, the crash at Kirk Ronan was inspired by the Montparnasse derailment in Paris, France. On the 22nd of October 1895, the Granville-Paris Express ran through the buffer stop, across the station concourse, and crashed through the station wall, landing in the place du Rennes below. This event was also depicted in the 2007 novel The Invention of Hugo Cabret, and its 2011 film adaptation Hugo. The team were inspired by the disaster after David Maidment showed the production team a poster depicting it. A small picture of the real-life incident can be seen in the Thomas and Friends exhibition at Drayton Manor, located at Bluffs Cove in the waiting room. When I was younger, I received a picture of this accident for my birthday, and it never clicked with me until years later that it was the inspiration for Gordon's crash at Kirk Ronan. That just makes me love the episode all the more. And the episode was also criticised for its crash sequence as it was deemed too scary for younger viewers. But it never really scared me when I was a kid. Though I tell a lie, the thing that scared me wasn't the crash itself, but it was the zoom in of Gordon's shocked face before he shuts his eyes before the impact. It's just another one of those unintentional scary moments for the TV series that they're famous for. And I love the touch that the humans inside the cab got themselves injured from the accident, with the Fat Controller getting a black eye and his fireman with his arm in a sling. Once again showing off the realism that the TV series strived for. showing us that in real life people would have gotten hurt from this kind of accident. And many of you Thomas fans will know that a few years ago, various outtakes and deleted scenes for all the episodes of Series 5 were leaked on YouTube. And it was just amazing seeing the amount of takes it took for them to do the crash scene for this episode. Just seeing the amount of times they've shown Gordon crashing through the wall until they decided which one was the best and most realistic to use for the final product.
We did 20 takes, and that was the best one.
It's just really amazing how much work really went into this one scene, showing how much the team strived for realism and perfection when it came to their crashes. And I loved the layout for Kirk Ronan Station as well, having it be the second biggest station compared to Knapford Station, which had no appearances whatsoever in the 5th series. So you could say that Kirk Ronan was intended to take Knapford's place for a while, until it showed up again in Thomas and the Magic Railroad. And I loved Gordon's panoramic view at the end of the episode, and it remained at the station for the rest of the series. And it's another one of those hilarious landmarks that ends up getting affectionately named after Gordon. I mean, we got Gordon's Hill, and now we got Gordon's View. A better view for Gordon is something that any Thomas fan can enjoy. It's a great Gordon-centric episode. It introduces us to a brand new location, and it has one of the most stunning crashes the TV series had to offer. It's an episode that I highly recommend checking out if you haven't seen it yet or haven't seen it for a few years. The episode as a whole, as well as the crash, is easily among one of the best.